are continuing with a joint survey commissioned by Loose Women and This Morning ahead of International Women's Day, looking at what it really means to be a woman in 2026. Today's focus is on the menopause, and our survey found that 59% of women in their 40s and 46% of women in their 50s would be offended if someone at work asked if they were menopausal. Interesting that the younger ones would be more offended than the older ones. I don't know, that suggests a bit of... Would you be offended, Jane?
Well, it depends on context, doesn't it? I mean, it's like if it's weaponised by somebody. So I feel that, like, when you were younger, when you were, you know, having periods... Anyone here still having periods? No, didn't think so.
Hello?
Anyway. Oh, I thought you said you were peri.
I'm peri, but I'm still merry. Like, everything's all right.
Okay.
Like,
We can tell what we
think about talking about this stuff.
But, you know, when we were young, and you know, if you just had I don't know, you were just like, don't talk to me like that or whatever to one of the boys at school, and they would go, oh, is it that time of the month?
Yes. Yeah.
That sort of thing I'm not putting up with. So if somebody says to me, oh, are you menopausal? No, that's not happening. But it's like anything, right? I think anything you have, whether you're male or female, if you have a condition or something that's affecting you, that is giving you pain, that is affecting your ability to work, or you don't want to leave the house, absolutely, then, you know, take time off from work. But let's also not kind of weaponise or sort of... It's a natural bodily function. So if you're a bit hot and sweaty, go to work. Because you're going to be hot and sweaty at home, so you might as well just go to work. Don't give it someone another stick to beat us with.
But see, that's the thing, we're getting to a really interesting point. Is it a stick to beat us with, or is this a conversation that we should be having more? I mean, you know, Bridget Phillipson, Government Minister, of course, has said that employers should detail their support for staff experiencing menopause, also tackle unfair pay. Interesting.
Because at the moment it's just voluntary, isn't it?
Yeah, put into the same thing. Yeah. Companies over a certain size have got to publish steps how they're going to support employees through the menopause, etc. So, you know, menopause leave potentially.
The thing is, if 1 in 10 women are leaving their profession due to menopause, surely it really serves companies as well to recognise that they may be losing really good people to it. And I think we could really fall foul of thinking that everybody now knows about the menopause, because we talk about it so much, don't we, backstage in the meetings here.
But we've been talking about it for like 17 years.
Yeah, Loose
well,
Women
not really, not 17. For ages we couldn't talk about it.
No, on this show we talked about it in whenever it was, 17 years ago.
But I mean, I think that's great, because for ages you didn't hear the word menopause on television.
No.
And I think that yes, some people really, really suffer. And I don't think we should get weary of raising awareness on it. I mean, you were saying this morning, weren't you, that you wouldn't have known?
No, and if I'm honest with you, it's Loose Women that I think that I've been watching and been a part of, where I'm so in depth with the understanding of it. And I think, like, when I think about places where I used to work previously, like in offices and stuff like that, it was never really talked about. It was never mentioned. I mean, now I recall seeing women, like, delivering a speech or, you know, having a meeting, and they were sweating, wiping their head and shaking. But actually, they would just be like, oh, sorry, just excuse me, I'm trying to get through. And now I'm thinking about, oh, my gosh, maybe they were going through perimenopause or menopause but didn't want to say anything. But I agree on both sides that, you know, either can we get to a stage where we're not mentioning it enough or mention it too much that it could be used, not as an excuse, but I worry that sometimes now, if you do go doctors or you do say something, straight away everything is pushed under.
That's not a reason to not stop.
No, it's not. I agree. I don't think it is, but I think it's important. The difference between talking and educating, which is what we do, we really try to educate people about
it. And also when it gets, you know, absorbed into company culture, and I'm in between everybody here. From my experience, there's a lot of big companies, and I absolutely exclude where we are now, because I do think that Loose Women has been phenomenal in terms of talking about menopause. And we have to always do a shout-out to Davina McCall and other people, Mariella, etc. But I think there's a lot of big companies that do it as a tick boxing exercise.
Well, this is it. Because all these suggestions are
a poster on the back of the loo door.
Well,
at this stage, you were put into the box of diversity.
There was a company that I used to work for who had this picture, and it always used to amuse me when I went to the ladies' loo, and they had a picture on the back of the wall of this very sort of grey, washed-out-looking woman going, "Have you got problems with the menopause?"
I was going to say, that's looking hugely familiar.
You know, and you just
how did that make you feel? Did you?
Well, I didn't relate. I thought, who is it? You know, what's going on here? I mean, of course, the menopause can bring its problems. All stages of life can bring its problems. Men have got problems that they have to go through. But it's when you're defined in that kind of slightly weak way.
But that's why it's important to fight the battle that it doesn't make you weak. That there are, and I think that's right across the board.
But when we're talking about time off
women
for menopause, you've got a lot of people saying, "Oh, there's something else they want time off."
That's what I was sort of saying at the beginning. If you have extreme symptoms, then that obviously is something for discussion. But most of the time, let's not medicalise a normal bodily function. Let's not say it makes us weak, it makes us unable to do our jobs, you know, etc., etc. Let's push on through.
I think we push on through too much as women, right from when we first get. If you do suffer terribly with period pain, just push on through. Don't make it.
No, not if you've got extreme symptoms. Nobody would say to you to push on through then.
No, I know.
If you're just having a bit of a, you know, sometimes getting up and getting out of the house and going to work and having a bit of a distraction is better for you.
Of course,
than
and that's
sitting at home
what
dwelling.
99% of women do. But if we want to keep opening this conversation, you know, like when I think of my friend that was 10 years with endometriosis, wearing 5-6 pads, bleeding, in absolute agony, and there was no conversation about whether you could take off time for endometriosis. You would have to just pretend it was something else. Like there's almost a shame.
If anybody ever said to me, "Oh, are you going through the menopause?" I'd be like, "No, this is my personality."
It's been a constant state of menopause.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree with you, Nadia. I think the conversation is good, but it depends how it's being received. And at the moment, I don't know if we're in a particularly woman-friendly place in our culture, which
That's why we have to fight harder.
Go fight hard.